Okay, welcome to the Melting Pot Podcast with myself, Alexei, joined by Daniel.
Hey, how you going?
And we have Beth.
Howdy.
And we also have Jared here.
Sup?
We are going to be talking about subcultures in Melbourne. Guys, subcultures.
So what's a subculture, do you reckon?
Well, according to our survey, according to Stacey, who filled out our survey.
Stacey, thank you for doing this for us.
Yeah, thanks, Stacey. She defined a subculture as a smaller cultural group within a larger one, which is actually correct. That's a very good answer.
Ooh, I've got here.
Precise, yeah.
Yeah. What have you got there?
I've got pretty much the same thing from Megan. She says, a group within a genre or scene/culture.
Okay, well, I've got here from Daniel, little communities that contribute to make a culture. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean, but I suppose it's the sub of a culture.
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you got?
I mean, I've got two here. I'm spoiled. I've got one from Mum, who is 21.
So no, that's from Cindy. That's from Cindy.
Yeah, okay, Cindy.
Thanks, Cindy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cindy. She defines them as groups or communities of people who follow their own set of values or ideals and have a common interest.
That's a pretty good answer.
So that's better than, I don't even know who, Christian, who says people who stand out from normal people.
Okay.
So
Okay, we
very
obviously
broad
know
description.
we obviously know he doesn't know what it means.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But thank you anyway. Yeah, so, I mean, we've got a few good ones that do actually cover what a subculture is, broadly.
Okay. Should we go on to the next question, or should we talk about
yeah,
something
so I
else?
guess our next thing would be to talk about what subcultures do these people know of in Melbourne, I guess.
Okay.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. Stacey said music subcultures, so stuff like punk, hardcore, and psych she put in.
Mm-hmm. Megan said subgenres within a genre?
So it's like subcultures, but
It's a
subgenres.
Genre.
Double sub.
Subcultures.
Subway.
Yeah.
Eat fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh.
I got here from Daniel. He's put a few. He's got emo, goth, trap, hardstyle, Chinese, ethnic. I think it's the same thing. Rock, punk, and
Chinese isn't a subculture.
and he's got a bogan. I think
Bogan's definitely a subculture.
that's
a
100%
subculture.
a subculture.
Yeah.
Proud.
Here's Daniel. That Daniel, I know for the fact that Daniel's from the southeast, so
Oh, okay.
we are from southeast. So that we have the very strong bogan subculture in there.
Yeah.
Anything else up in the southeast? What else you got?
Oh, we got the upper middle class bogans.
Yeah.
You know, like
The upper middle.
you know, like the mums who drive like the Audis and
Oh yeah,
you
the
know
soccer mum
like
bogans,
like
footy mum bogans.
the white SUV with
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
blacked out wheels and
Yeah.
blonde hair. And she's probably
Yeah.
like 50, but she looks 30 and
Her tits look 20.
yeah, yeah, that and her kids are like older than the mum or
Yeah.
that sort of thing. You know, upper middle class. You know,
Yeah.
they live in a place called Lakeside, so
Yeah.
it's like all the fancy houses, but not really.
Yeah.
The kind of almost fancy houses.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
like really budget
Yeah.
houses.
My dad had a good name for him. He called them McMansions.
Yeah.
It's like McDonald's. They just dish out the same kind of store. It's like a franchise
Yeah, it's
of
the same
mansions.
thing, just
they all look
everywhere.
the same. They're called McMansions.
And they just come out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
No one sees them
Yeah.
coming. But bogan, yeah, upper middle class. I don't know. It's a new rising one. You know, you want to send your kids all to the private schools, but you can't. So you send them to the public school that's trying to be a private school.
They've got like the blazer,
Yeah, with the blazers and you know, like.
but they're
whatever.
optional.
Yeah.
My school
Optional
had blazers. What do you guys
Yeah,
want
we
to
had.
say?
We had.
Yeah, I had
blazers.
blazers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went to a private school.
I did.
Yeah, is that a private school thing?
I think it's like fairly a private school thing. Like sometimes other schools will have it, but with private schools, it's a mandatory thing.
Yeah.
For like year 10 and above for our school, you had to wear a blazer.
Yeah.
Whereas like high school, like public schools, I feel like blazers are only a thing for formal occasions.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like if it was like a 40-degree day while we were supposed to be wearing our winter uniform, we had to have that blazer on. No
Yeah,
matter
yeah.
what. It
Yeah,
was just like
that was
It's
culture.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of different schools, public and private, there's different subcultures depending on what kind of school it is as well, which is pretty interesting.
It's also the area.
Yeah.
Like, where
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
live
Yeah.
is like.
Like you'd. Oh no, sorry, go on.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say like in my area. So I'm from Upper Beak.
Yeah.
Upper Beaconsfield, so close to Pakenham was where I went to school.
Hmm.
And that was all. It's kind of a mix of like Samoans and Maori kids
Yep.
and the occasional Indian or whatever.
Yeah.
But like you move out to like Clayton and all that sort of areas, and it's just like Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So-
I'm from like small town New South Wales on the coast, and our subcultures were more defined by characteristics than visual appearance because
Yeah,
everyone was white.
yeah,
Like absolutely everyone. The foreigners were from Sweden. Like that's how white my community was. But yeah, it was more like nerds,
yeah.
jocks, like typical subcultures
High
within school.
Yeah,
Nerds, jocks, popular kids,
yeah.
all that sort of stuff. And then I somehow managed to fit into all of them by the end of high school, which was weird because I was definitely not sporty.
So you just
Yeah.
became like this multicultural.
Yeah. Well, there was like 23 of us, so there was no real room for
Oh right.
because it was such a small private
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, yeah.
There was no real
Interesting.
room for the subcultures, but
Yeah, jeez.
And
outside of that,
Yeah.
was that in like a regional town? Did you grow up in a regional?
yeah,
is that-
like
yeah.
5,000 people
Yeah.
in
Usually
like
there's
the area, not just the town.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of like differences between like because I grew up in Melbourne and then for high school I moved to Warrnambool, which is like
Oh,
3
shit.
hours away, and that's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
regional country. So that
Yeah, pretty much.
everyone was different. Like I was the only person that was not like full Australian, so it was a bit weird. But it's cool because there's like a massive difference between subcultures in Melbourne and like regional cities.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Adelaide, so I went to 2 different high schools in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And my first high school was an all-girls school
Mhm.
in Mitcham.
Oh, Mitcham.
Mitcham.
Right.
And then I went to the Nerd School of Australia, which
Right.
was the Australian Science and Mathematics School.
Yeah.
Right. I went to it was a Christian school and it still kind of is.
Yeah.
And it's a private school.
So should we move on to the next question?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Guess-
got a little bit sidetracked there.
I've
but,
got a beauty here for would you consider yourself as part of a subculture?
Yeah. What's that?
And this is my favourite that I've seen is the cool dog group.
the cool
The
dog.
cool
Oh, the
dog
Facebook
You
one?
you would be
Yeah.
in that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'm in that.
Yeah, you
Actually,
are.
no, I got banned.
You got banned
got
from
banned
the cool
from the
dog
cool
group.
dog
Yes,
group?
but
What
I
did you
didn't
do?
I didn't post anything. I never posted. I posted one thing in the cool dog group once, and it was a dog on a camel I saw on like Sydney Road. But
that was
yeah.
the thing that you actually saw.
yeah. This guy owns a camel, and he has another dog with the camel, and they're like best friends, and the dog chills on the camel.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's the only thing I ever posted in cool dog group, and everyone liked it and stuff. There was nothing bad about it. And then other than that, I tagged my friends in stuff.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I just got banned for some reason.
That's
so
rude.
I don't care anymore. Cool dog group sucks. You suck, cool dog group.
Wow.
I'm in the cool
Yeah.
cat group now.
Yeah, actually, I'm
Lucky
in the cool
guys.
cat group. Yeah,
Can you add me to that?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool cat
I
group.
like cats.
For sure.
If you aren't a part of it, there's the big heckin' group of dang doggos.
That sounds great.
Dang
Yeah,
doggos.
That's more of like an international community, but
Yeah,
definitely one worth checking out.
I'm in a cool
Shit.
group called Bug Spotting. It's a bit like cute bugs.
shit.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Dude, that's awesome.
In fact,
Like that.
these kind of little groups are almost like little subcultures.
Well, they
in a
are.
way.
Yeah.
They are in a sense subcultures.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
got like your dog spotting.
Yeah,
I've got a bunch of
Groups.
different like reptile groups.
yeah,
Yeah.
Snake share like snake memes and shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what have you got?
Yeah, like Melbourne / hardcore local punk. Question mark.
You put the slash in the wrong place, but yeah.
Whatever. Lots of question marks from Megan.
Thanks, Megan, for
Yeah.
the question marks.
She's
Thanks,
very
Megan.
insecure about her
But I think
answers.
she's part of the local punk scene,
Awesome.
which is always sick.
Yeah.
Love the punks.
Who
Yeah,
can't?
love 'em.
You can't go wrong with the punk scene. It's becoming back. It's getting back in fashion.
Yeah.
Everything's getting back in fashion. The
Yeah.
years are just repeating themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
that's
much,
basically
yeah.
what
We're in an
happens.
endless
The
cycle.
subcultures are repeating themselves
It's like,
too.
it's like
Yeah.
what is it? If you don't learn your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So like, we're repeating the 70s right now. I mean, how many
Yeah.
people shooting with 35mm
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
cameras and shit? You know, like.
Oh my god. Pretty soon we're all gonna start dressing like the 80s and using synth.
We already do.
That's me.
We're already wearing flares. I got a pair of flares at home.
Hot damn.
Yeah, pink.
Nice.
Pink flares. I got them from a party.
Pink
Don't give
flares.
him ideas, please.
Pink
Too
flares.
That's awesome.
I got a good question for everyone. Are there any subcultures, not subcultures that you're in now, but like, you know, those kind of phases you went through as a kid? Like, what kind of phases do you guys go through? I went through some pretty cringy phases.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think we all did.
I had a very brief goth period.
yeah,
Very brief. Because my brother dated a goth girl.
yeah.
Turns
Yeah.
out she was actually a Satanist, which was really interesting
That's cool.
considering we went to a Christian school. But yeah, so I went through a really brief goth phase. Wore like really sort of dark black clothes and
Yeah.
like with skeletons and shit on them. All those like
Real
really
edgy.
long fingerless gloves and shit.
Oh,
But
Jesus.
I couldn't dye my hair because I went to a Anglican school.
Yeah,
So I was this goth kid with bright orange hair.
that's funny.
So
That's
yeah,
rough.
that was kind of the only phase that I would have gone through. But apart from that, I was a nerd the whole time.
Yeah.
What about you, Alexei? Give us your cringy
Um,
phases.
I went through like a emo scene phase
Oh,
with the straightened hair and stuff.
nah.
Shit.
Yeah, but that was like 2009, 2008, 2009. So
2008. I was in like.
That's like
year
late
5.
for emo.
yeah, I was
Isn't it?
like, I don't know.
No, that's like
No, it's
emo.
more.
That's
It was
like
scene. It was more
like,
scene. Yeah, that was like kind of sceney.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's back
scene
then.
in like with all the
Scene.
hair because Justin Bieber had
Yeah,
like all the
yeah,
straight
yeah. I was like
hair and-
15, 16. Yeah,
Jesus.
year 8, year 9.
I feel so old.
And then I went through like
So young.
a brief period where I was into like that shuffle hardstyle scene. I was like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like Riverside
real
and
cringe.
Ministry of Sound.
yeah,
and-
yeah, yeah.
all
That
that.
was cringe. Yeah, and that's, I don't know. That's
yeah.
about it. That's all the cringy.
I think
stuff
I
I've
did the
been in.
same. Like
Yeah.
wearing like the Nike and the Vans and like you know like the globes and shit. And,
Yeah, yeah,
You know like I used to have like really long hair. You know I tried to straighten that. And,
yeah,
Like I'd hair down to my shoulders.
yeah. That's
And,
I
yeah.
straightened my hair as well.
And
It
you
was-
straighten it. And then I realized I couldn't do that. and
yeah,
Yeah. It was just those embarrassing phases you go through as a teenager.
and then you just look back on them and you're like,
You're like,
you
what,
get
my
that,
whole
like,
life is
shivery
just one
cringe.
embarrassing phase.
what other cultures we got going around Melbourne? We've talked about upper
Um,
middle class.
yeah,
Right.
The upper
Bronies.
middle class bogans.
Well, we were talking about the other day in Brunswick.
Oh, here we go. We got some
The-
cultures in Brunswick.
Yeah.
100%.
Brunswick
Because
is
we were
a
talking
melting
about-
pot.
Which is
Like
Hence,
yeah,
Yeah.
hence
hence
This
the
is the
name.
melting
Hence
pot.
the podcast
yeah.
melting pot.
we were talking about how there are so many different white people.
Yeah, just like the various subcultures. Like we were walking from our house to Berkeley Square, which is like
100 meters, if that.
100 meters,
Yeah.
and we saw probably like 6 or 7 different subcultures,
Yeah.
all roughly the same age, all looked completely
Yeah.
different, all of them white. Like
Yeah.
there was hipsters, hippies, punks,
yeah,
rockers, like metalheads.
Yeah.
That's
Standard-
the word I was looking for.
Standard coffee enthusiast.
Standard coffee
Yeah.
enthusiasts.
What do you call them? Coffee connoisseurs or
I don't know, coffee
Coffee.
heads.
coffee
Assholes.
coffee skanks? I don't know.
Coffers?
Have
Oh,
you
man.
noticed an increase or decrease in certain subcultures in Melbourne? If so, which ones? Yes. Hipsters.
So
Well, yeah, I can't argue.
I think
with
most
that.
people went with like the increase thing.
Hipsters
and,
have definitely increased for
They've
sure.
gone by tenfold,
Yeah.
100%.
So Cindy?
Yeah.
It says Cindy?
Mom.
Cindy said there's a
Mom.
lot of vegans and feminists
So many
slash
vegans.
equality
Oh yeah,
and other
Yeah.
internet moral ground slash politically correct cultures than there were before. So
yes.
social
Yes.
justice
Cindy
warriors.
is right.
Yeah,
There's
she
a
is.
lot of vegans out there.
Yeah.
So many
Yeah.
vegans. So Megan said, I don't really notice, sorry, but like the Melbourne music / art scene is growing heaps. Which, I mean, yeah, it is. That's
Oh,
why
yeah,
I moved down
absolutely.
here, and that's why a lot of people move to
That's
Melbourne,
why I moved here.
is for the music
Yeah,
art
100%.
scene, just
Yeah.
because it's so vibrant and so amazing down here.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my friends from uni when I was like, oh, I'm from like New South Wales, they were like, why didn't you just go to the JMC in Sydney? I was like, have you fucking been to Sydney?
As social structures change, there would be an increase/decrease in subcultures.
I mean, yeah, that seems to make sense
Yeah.
to me.
It's not really saying which ones, but it's defining.
I
Yeah.
don't know. The world's changing.
Yeah, the world's in
Yeah.
a constant state of change.
What's this? Do you think different regions have different subcultures? 100%.
Oh my god.
I've got here. Yes. I've also just noticed Christian's just crossed out his name. He's just put his last name. I can't pronounce it, but he's just put his last name. So thanks, Christian.
Thanks, Chris.
Megan said, yeah, man, there are definitely more artsy people in Melbs than most places.
Well, Cindy said regions of Melbourne have different demographics and socioeconomic statuses that affect the hobbies, values, and cultures of that specific area.
Sounds about right.
So-
I mean, I come from the southeast, and that's 100% different to the city.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Would be.
Like, way different.
Yeah, I spent like 2 months living in the southeast on my friend's couch. But yeah, the southeast is very different to like
100%.
everywhere else in
Absolutely.
Melbourne.
Yeah, like, especially, like, I'm going to give a shout out to Xander.
Yeah.
But, like, I will say words around him, and he'd be like, what the hell do you mean?
Yeah. You are listening to the Melting Pot Podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Megan, Stacey, Cindy, Christian, Daniel,
And Jared, thank
and
you for coming
Jared,
in.
No
and
problem.
Beth, and Daniel as well. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, SAE.